Yo, what it is, YouTube? It's your boy DC coming back with another bullseye of a video here today on the channel. I want to show you guys how to get some pro, smooth, mainstream, ready to release vocals. So let's listen. So if you guys do like my videos, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and support the channel by checking out MixLikeNix.com, the best website to get vocal presets, mastering courses, plugin presets, and mixing and mastering services. Let me show you guys how I was able to mix up a really dope track, and shout out to the artist Sad J and Seca for giving me this great song. Tengo Lehilo se llama. Okay, that's what it's called. All right, so let's go over this right now, guys, and let's talk about how we like to achieve smoothness in a mix. I think something that's very important is a tap of limiting. 1 to 2 dBs is a great way to be like a substitute teacher or a principal in the school telling that little kid, that little peak. You see that little peak right there? You see that little peak right there in the vocal tone? Nah, you gotta stop acting up, little kid. You gotta stop acting up. So you see me, the artist is catching the vibe. You feel me? He's catching the vibe. That's his melody. But we want that school principal to tell a student, hey, that vocal tape, you know, we still want you to be a part of the classroom, but you gotta stay in place. You gotta sit in your desk, all right? When you use a little bit of a limiter, 1 to dB, it's like making the student queda in the fucking desk seat. Okay, guys, they got me over here speaking Spanish. Oh my God. All right, the next thing that we have right here is a little bit of presence that we added over here to this mid-range, and this is great when you have auto-tune that's already printed. For example, like in this case, like with this vocal, the auto-tune is already printed. So to make the auto-tune come out a little bit more, I used a dollop, a half a teaspoon of sugared honey, a spectre in the high mid-range to ensure that the auto-tune detail was able to poke out. This is gonna be related to the Spiff plugin because you guys see me so many times talking about how, yo, when you take the clicks and the pops, you can make your auto-tune smoother. But lately what I've been doing is I haven't been taking out too much. You know, I just like to hear a certain amount of in the auto-tune, then I will boost it back with the spectre later down on the line of chains. Oh my God, I can't believe I gave him the gems. Use the Spiff to control how much of the you want from the auto-tune, which will let you make your auto-tune super aggressive, and you boost it back to get that perfect auto-tune texture. Fuck, man. It's too late. I can't take it back. Let's move on to the next plugin. All right, we have the Mac DSP MC404. We're going to use this thing to control the low and the upper mid. They have the same exact release time, and that's calibrated to the BPM of the song. But when you do that, it's kind of like helping the vocal cha-cha-cha. One is the man, one is the girl. They're cha-cha-cha. They're doing a cha-cha dance. You feel me? The low mid and the upper mid range are dancing off of each other, right? And it's creating a beautiful dance together where everything sounds melodic and the flow is a little bit more smoother. This is a great way to make a rapper's flow feel more consistent in the melody by applying a little bit of multi-band compression in the low mid and the high mid, keeping the same release and making sure you're kind of doing around the same amount of gain reduction. After that, we have the best de-esser in the game. We don't got to talk about the best de-esser in the game, you know, enough said. But then after that, picking something like a tape emulation is great when you want to shave off a little bit of the texture, if there's a little bit too much texture on the auto-tune. And this is also a great natural form of compression. So sometimes I don't even use compressors. Like I know that, oh, if I add a little bit of tape and I you know, hit the tape at like how I got to, it's going to flatten out the vocal a little bit. Esa cintura que viene y se va, compro la marca y a ella le da igual.
lágrimas de cocodrilo, quiero arrancarte.
I also like how it rounds off the top and it makes it feel like the vocal is like a spotlight, like he's in the club talking or something like that. Like it's a situation where you know how Batman as a superhero, he has that light that shines up in the air, and because that light is special, it makes everything stand out, and that's what the tape does. It adds a flavor, it adds a Batman logo in the sky that lets you know, hey, this is the rapper, this is his verse, and this is what's helping it stay inside of the beat while blending into the night. Then we have the SSLE channel strip. I like this because the tone is so neutral, and yeah, you know, there's gonna be some mud sometimes, a little bit of mid-range, especially when we add a little bit of tape. So that's what we want to kind of neutralize.
Esa cintura que viene y se va, compro la marca y a ella le da igual. Se hace la pinky pero es una yal, que mala noche se hace viral. Se decanta por lo fino, me encanta ese tanga de hilo. Lágrimas de cocodrilo, quiero arrancarte el vestido.
So this is a great move to do, all right? What you do is you cut a little bit low mid on the SSL, but then you use a low level ratio. And pretty much it boosts up the noise floor. When you use a low ratio, it boosts up the noise floor. It like rounds off the whole signal and brings out the low level detail. And this is good because you just cut with the EQ, but you kind of boost it back with the compressor. So it doesn't feel like you lost that much body.
Esa cintura que viene y se va, compro la marca y a ella le da igual. Se hace la pinky pero es una yal, que mala noche se hace viral. Se decanta por lo fino, me encanta ese tanga de hilo. Lágrimas de cocodrilo, quiero.
All right, after that, we have the Tube Tech Seal 1B. We already know that thing is going to be nice and warm, but I mostly use it as like a saturator, I think.
Esa cintura que viene y se va, compro la marca y a ella le da igual. Se hace la pinky pero es una yal, que mala noche se hace viral. Se decanta por lo fino, me encanta ese tanga de hilo. Lágrimas de cocodrilo, quiero. Esa cintura que viene y se va, compro la marca y a ella le da igual. Se hace la pinky pero es una yal, que mala noche se hace viral. Se decanta por lo fino, me encanta ese tanga de hilo. Lágrimas de cocodrilo, quiero arrancarte el vestido.
Me encanta tu estilo. All right, and here's another great plugin to get really dope, smooth, auto-tune, melodic CL1 beat style vocals. Using this plugin, the C6, and just making sure you find where that nasty little thing is at. So you hear that, see, that's the same thing that I'm cutting out with the spiff, but that's more like the transient energy. Now, when we do it over here, it's more like the actual frequency energy because we're literally going to go in there and take the frequency down. But over here, it's more just like the volume and the shape of the transient. Like you have the sharpness, the low decay. It's like the waveform. So there's different ways of controlling that auto-tune texture. And that's what I always try to tell you guys. The auto-tune is not just the perfect settings. It's about the texture too. And certain times, certain people's voices and certain microphones and stuff like that can pull a certain texture out of it. Because maybe what's happening is that there's a certain frequency density. Like some people just have a lower voice. So there's more power in the low end. Some people have a higher voice. And sometimes that higher voice is what's got the energy. And that's what maybe might trigger the auto-tune because the auto-tune is frequency dependent, right? So it changes based on the frequencies that it's looking at, guys. So that's why I was trying to tell you guys, you know, sometimes the favorite auto-tune sound that you like is because like literally the artist, their voice just produces a certain type of sound that the auto-tune reacts to. Even if you're using the same plugin, the same settings, it might not be the same. So figure out something that works for you. And when you got something that works for you, you're going to be unstoppable.
Esa cintura que viene y se va, compro la marca y a ella le da igual. Se hace la pinky pero es una yal, que mala noche se hace viral. Se decanta por lo fino, me encanta ese tanga de hilo. Lágrimas de cocodrilo.
See how it's more like a texture. Imagine like now it feels a little bit more like Listerine. You know, it feels a little bit more like Colgate. It feels more like a mouth that is clean, a shiny, bright smile.
Esa cintura que viene y se va, compro la marca y a ella le da igual. Se hace la pinky pero es una yal, que mala noche se hace viral. Se decanta por lo fino, me encanta se estanca de hilo, lágrimas de cocodrilo, quiero arrancarte el vestido. Esa cintura que viene y se va, le compro la marca y a ella le da igual. Se hace la pinky pero es una yal, quema la noche, se hace viral, se decanta por los fines.
So you guys got a real good understanding of how using that whole plug and chain and kind of finishing it off with a C6 is like the most important thing, because we're going to saturate the high end. We're going to make it dense. We're going to put ketchup, mustard, honey, and sauce on it. And then towards the end, that's when we're going to just do just a little bit of that final parsley. You know how the chef just throws a nice cute little bit of parsley on the plate? That's what the C6 is. You know, now it's texture. And that auto-tune bounces a certain way. If I wanted to go for a warmer auto-tune sound, I wouldn't use that. I would just take that off, and it would just make the auto-tune sound a little bit more round. You know, like, of course, just cutting off of 2 to 3 dB, it shouldn't make a huge difference. But that's the difference between the auto-tune sounding glassy and it's something like a glass that somebody already drunk out of, you know, like, somebody already drunk out of this glass, like type shit like that. So I just want to say thanks a lot for being a great part of the YouTube family, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out MixLikeNix.com, guys, if you guys want to book mixing and mastering services. I mean, look what I did to this song. Imagine what I could do to your track really quick. So don't forget to check out the website, grab some of the vocal templates, some of the presets, some of the mastering courses to support the channel. And down below, you go ahead and comment what type of video would you like to see next so I can get to it. I just want to say thanks a lot for being a great part of the YouTube family. I appreciate you guys now. Peace.